And dear students, with the topic that I've taken right now is citizenship in India. So we'll be doing the topic in two parts. So this is the first part in which we'll be just understanding the basic concept of citizenship, its meaning, and what is the provision of Indian Constitution. How do we acquire or the determination of Indian citizenship is being done. And then we'll be dealing with the constitutional provisions, certain articles that deals with the citizenship, and we'll conclude this particular part of citizenship with the Constitutional Amendment Act of 2019. And then the next part will be proceeding with that particular act only. So what is there in the Act of 2019 and all we'll be doing in the topic, next part of this topic. Okay, so let's just start with the introduction part. So what is citizenship? So once we are about to understand the meaning of citizenship, so citizenship signifies the relationship between individual and the state. So how the individual is related with the state. So there are certain duties of the individual towards the state, and in turn the state provides security, proper condition where the individual can fulfill its basic requirement, and at the same time the individual can develop itself. So that is the relationship that exists between the individual and the state, and that is determined by a relationship, and we state that relationship as citizenship. So like any other modern state, India also has two kinds of people. So we differ the two kinds of people as citizens and as aliens. So now we know when we are talking about citizens, about whom are we talking about, and the others we regard them as aliens. Citizens are full members of the Indian state and owe allegiance to it. They enjoy all civil and political rights. And who provides the civil and political rights? That is being provided by the and guaranteed by the state, looked after by the state. Citizenship is an idea of exclusion, as it excludes rules for the non-citizen. So this is the basic idea of what we understand with the term citizen. So we find that individual and state. So the relation between the two we define it as citizenship. Now next thing is what is the mode of acquisition or how is the citizenship determined? And we are talking about Indian citizenship. Okay, so that will be our next important point. Acquisition and determination of Indian citizenship. So we have four criteria for this. One is birth, so on the basis of birth. Another one is on the basis of descent. Then registration can be done and naturalization. So one by one, let us discuss the meaning of the terms. So when we are talking about citizenship by birth, so what is there in Indian Constitution? So every person born in India on or after 26th of January 1950, but before 1/7 1987 is an Indian citizen irrespective of nationality of his or her parents. Second is that every person born in India between 1/7/87 and 2/12/2004 is a citizen of India given either of his or her parents is a citizen of the country at the time of his or her birth. And every person born in India on or after 3rd of December 2004 is a citizen of the country given both his or her parents are Indians, or at least one parent is a citizen and the other is not an illegal migrant at the time of. Moving ahead with the second criteria, that is citizenship, that is by registration. So citizenship can also be acquired by registration, and some of the mandatory rules are there for this. For instance, a person of Indian origin who has been a resident of India for 7 years before applying for registration, a person of Indian origin who is a resident of any country outside undivided India, a person who is married to an Indian citizen and is ordinarily a resident for 7 years before applying for registration, minor children of persons who are citizens of India. We'll be understanding certain developments that have been there in these provisions when we do the amendment and when we move ahead with the second part of this lecture. So we'll be doing with this. Right now what we are doing is the ideal thing that is there in our constitution that provides for certain clause that we are right now stating. Then we have citizenship by descent. So a person born outside India on or after 26th of January 1950 is a citizen of India by descent if his or her father was a citizen of India by birth. A person born outside India on or after December 10th, 1992 or before 3rd of December 2004 if either of his or her parents are citizens of India by birth. If a person born outside India or after December 3rd, 2004 has to acquire citizenship, his or her parents have to declare that the minor does not hold the passport of any country and his or her birth is registered at an Indian consulate within 1 year of birth. And the last, when we do this thing, is about citizenship by naturalization. So what it means? It means that a person can acquire citizenship by naturalization if he or she is ordinarily resident of India for 12 years throughout 12 months preceding the date of application and 11 years in aggregate, and fulfills all qualifications in the third schedule of the Citizenship Act. The Act does not provide for dual citizenship or dual nationality. It only allows citizenship for a person listed under the provisions above, that is by birth, descent, registration, or naturalization. So these are the important points when we do the acquisition or determination of Indian citizenship. Now moving ahead is about the constitutional provisions that is there in the Constitution of India. So we have part 2 of the Constitution, Article 5 to 11, that describes about citizenship. So we have Article 5. It provides for citizenship on commencement of the Constitution. So it states that all those domiciled and born in India were given citizenship. Even those who were domiciled but not born in India, but either of whose parents were born in India, were considered citizens. Anyone who had been an ordinary citizen for more than 5 years too was entitled to apply for citizenship. Then we have Article 6, which states that it provides that provided rights of citizenship of certain persons who have migrated to India from Pakistan. So since independence was preceded by partition and migration, so Article 6 laid down that anyone who migrated to India before 19th of July 1949 would automatically become an Indian citizen if either or of his parents or grandparents were born in India. Then we have Article 7, which states about the rights of citizenship of certain migrants to India. So, those who had migrated to India after 1st of March 1947 but subsequently returned on resettlement permits were included within the citizenship net. Then we have Article 8, which states that rights of citizenship of certain persons of Indian origin residing outside India. So any person of Indian origin residing outside India who or either of whose parents or grandparents was born in India could register himself or herself as an Indian citizen with Indian diplomatic mission. So maybe further we have certain more articles relating to citizenship, like we have Article 9. So Article 9 states that provided that if any person voluntarily acquires the citizenship of a foreign state, will no longer be a citizen of India. Article 10 says that every person who is or is deemed to be a citizen of India under any of the foregoing provisions of this part shall, subject to the provisions of any law that may be made by Parliament, continue to be such citizen. We have Article 11 that states that it empowers Parliament to make any provision with respect to the acquisition and termination of citizenship and all matters relating to it. And therefore, we have amendments to the particular provision of citizenship in our constitution. And the Act of 1955, it has been amended five times up till now, and the latest one is the amendment of 2009. So we have amendments to the this thing, to the article of to the Citizenship Act, and so far it has been amended in 86, 2003, 5, 2015, and 2009. So the details of the amendments will be doing in the second part when we do with the Amendment Act of 2009. So we can just conclude this introductory part on citizenship. That is basically this lecture was confined to the articles and to the acquisition and determination of citizenship. So afterwards, the second part will be doing about the amendments, the changes, and why the change is essential, or how the change is being made to the Citizenship Act, and what is the, we can say, what is the demand of the people and how the Constitution meets the demand of the people with the help of this amendment provision that is there to the provision of citizenship in the Constitution. So we can be doing in the next part of this. So we can end this part with the conclusion of 2019 Amendment Act as an introduction to this act, that this amendment was made, and this amendment proposes to permit members of six communities, Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jain, Parsis, and Christians, from Bangladesh, Pakistan, Afghanistan to continue to live in India if they entered India before 14th of December 2014. It has reduced the requirement for citizenship from 11 years to just 6 years. Two notifications also exempted these migrants from the Passport Act and Foreigners Act. A large number of organizations in Assam protested against this bill as it may grant citizenship to Bangladeshi Hindu illegal migrants, which will create certain problem in that specific region. The justification given for this bill is that Hindus and Buddhists are minorities in Bangladesh and fled to India to avoid religious persecution, but Muslims are a majority. And so the same cannot be said about them. So this conclusion is basically on the basis of Assam's amendment of bill, and right now it has been amended. The provisions of the second part of the constitution has been amended, and we can find its implication on the present scenario. Right now there is being a lot of test, but the thing is that the particular act needs to be analyzed and the implications needs to be analyzed in a much better and broader perspective so that a clear picture can be visualized